Welcome to the final lesson of finding your voice as a romance writer. By now you've explored what voice really means, how it grows from your inner world, and how to experiment with it through practice. But the truth is, finding your voice isn't a one-time discovery, it's a lifelong relationship. In this lesson we'll talk about what it means to own your voice and how to let it evolve. Because the more you grow as a person and as a writer, the more your voice will deepen, refine, and expand. Owning your voice means trusting it. It's the moment when you stop trying to sound like anyone else and instead start writing from the truest parts of yourself. That doesn't mean your writing's perfect or polished. It means it's authentic. In romance, your voice is what makes readers fall in love, not just with your story, but with you, the person behind the words. When you own your voice, you're saying, "This is how I see love. This is what passion, vulnerability, and connection look like to me." And the beautiful part? There's no competition. You can admire another author's lyrical prose or sharp wit without feeling like you need to imitate them. You start to understand that what readers crave isn't sameness, it's sincerity. The more honestly you write, the more deeply your stories resonate. So ask yourself, when I write, am I performing or am I revealing? Owning your voice means letting go of the performance. It's allowing your quirks, rhythms, and emotional truths to shine through, even if they don't fit the mold. How do you know when you're writing in your real voice? Often it's not something you can analyze logically. It's something you feel. Your sentences flow more easily. You lose track of time. You stop worrying about how it sounds and start focusing on what it means. You might notice that your characters feel more alive, your dialogue feels natural, and your emotional beats hit harder. It's almost like the words are writing themselves. That's the feeling of alignment, when your inner world and your outer expression line up. Here's a simple test. Read a paragraph of your writing out loud. Does it sound like the way you speak? The emotions you actually feel? Or does it sound like a version of you trying to impress someone? If it's the latter, don't judge yourself. That's part of the process. Every writer experiments with voices that aren't quite theirs before landing on one that feels true. Owning your voice doesn't mean locking yourself into one style forever. It just means you're aware when you're in alignment and when you're not. And you keep coming back to that place of truth. Your voice will change, and that's a good thing. As you live more, love more, and write more, your perspective naturally shifts. Maybe you start out writing light-hearted, romantic comedies, and later find yourself drawn to deeper, emotional dramas, or vice versa. That's not losing your voice, it's expanding it. Think of your writing voice like a living organism. It grows with you. Early in your journey, your voice might be tentative, still finding its rhythm. Over time, as you write more stories and trust yourself more, it gains confidence and nuance. You might notice your tone softening, your humour sharpening, or your emotional depth deepening. The key is to stay open to that evolution. Don't cling to how your writing used to be. Let your voice mature as your understanding of love, heartbreak, and human connection evolves. The stories you're meant to tell at 25 won't be the same as the ones you'll tell at 45. And that's part of what makes your writing alive. When you own your voice, you stop chasing trends and start chasing truth. That's where your creative freedom lives. Confidence doesn't come from waiting until your writing feels perfect. It comes from using your voice consistently. The more you write, the more evidence you gather that your voice is worth hearing. A great way to strengthen your confidence is to reread old writing. Not to critique it, but to notice growth. Look at how your phrasing has matured, how your emotional insight has deepened. You'll start to see patterns, turns of phrase, emotional themes, types of characters that show up again and again. Those patterns are your signature. Also, surround yourself with people who value authenticity over perfection. Writing groups, critique partners, or even beta readers who understand your style can remind you that your voice has power, even when self-doubt creeps in. Remember, your voice is your fingerprint on the page. No one else can replicate it, no matter how hard they try. So rather than asking, is my voice good enough? Try asking, am I being true enough to it? Finding your voice isn't the finish line, it's the foundation. Every story you write will bring you closer to your truest expression, and the more you evolve as a person, through relationships, heartbreaks, successes and failures, the richer your voice becomes. So keep listening inward, keep writing outward. Let your voice be the bridge between who you are and what you want readers to feel. In romance especially, voice is everything. It's the heart behind the love story. When you own it fully, you don't just write stories about love, you embody it.